Hey guys, how's it going? This is Seth Williams from REtipster.com, and in this video we're going to talk about Class A properties. What is a Class A property and what do you need to know about it? So let's cover some of the basic characteristics of Class A properties. Class A properties are built in the most desirable parts of town. In a lot of cases, they've been built in the past 10 years, but sometimes you'll find older Class A properties that are just really well maintained. Class A properties typically sell and rent to high-income renters and buyers and experience positive property appreciation for well into the foreseeable future. So why exactly would a real estate investor buy a Class A property? Well, there's a few reasons. Class A properties earn the most in gross rents because they can charge the highest amount of rent. There's typically going to be less deferred maintenance than other types of properties, and because these are renting out to higher income earners, there's generally a lower likelihood of late and non-payment. And also, the people who rent these properties tend to stay there for a longer period of time, so there's lower tenant turnover. But on the flip side, Class A properties have their issues too, as do any property type. Obviously, they're more expensive, so there's a higher financial barrier to entry. They may also have lower returns because with Class A properties, rents are already at a premium and the deferred maintenance is already pretty low, which means it can be a little bit harder to increase the value of the property, which ultimately leads to it being a less advantageous strategy for a lot of investors. And when the maintenance costs do come up, and they always do, they tend to be a lot more expensive because Class A properties have a higher square footage, more expensive amenities, and also when the vacancies do happen, there's a higher likelihood the property is going to sit vacant for a longer period of time because in most markets, there's just a smaller demand for the super extravagant luxury that Class A properties have to offer. So now that we've covered the basics of this property type, it's important to understand that there's a lot of different physical and financial characteristics that can come into play when we're trying to classify a property like this. One key to remember is that everything is relative. A property should be evaluated in the context of the other properties in the same general vicinity. A Class A property in one market should only be compared to other Class A properties in the same market. It wouldn't be fair to compare the Class A properties of Los Angeles, California with the Class A properties of, I don't know, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. It's just not an apples to apples comparison. They're two completely different areas. So I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, you'll probably want to check out this next one, all about something called gentrification, which has a lot to do with taking certain class properties and actually changing it to a different class level over time. I think you'll find it pretty interesting. Be sure to check it out.